My name is Reverend Grace Lovejoy. My pronouns are Hershey. That's right. My ancestors come from the British Isles and Northern Europe. And I'm very happy to be in your presence here, no matter where you came from. So I wish you a great and glorious good morning, and you already know this to be absolutely true. You reap what you sow.
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
And most of the time, that comes along with this. Am I right? I think that it's time to look at things a little differently.
Yes.
And start to say, I want to sow the seeds that I want to reap.
Yes. Yes.
How's that for a concept? Yes. So my life is absolutely delightful here, especially since I've gotten to Santa Cruz, gotten back home with old friends, gotten to meet a whole bunch of lovely new friends, and it turns out that my arrival coincides with my very dear friend Elisha's taking this pulpit. And I've known him for a very long time, and in that time, it's been 20 years, really. And during that time, he has expanded science of mind.
Yes. Yes.
And science of mind saved my life. I mean, I am all in on science of mind. So there's nothing wrong with science of mind. Nothing really needs to be improved. But he has added a component to it that is so rich and so wonderful that it's going to sound today like I'm doing a pitch for joining us for Synthesis Fellowship, which actually it turns out I am because it's been so valuable to me. It's been so valuable to me. Raise your hand, synthesizers. Glorioski. When we do this process, this makes things happen.
Yes.
Science of mind has always been a good idea in the mind of God. Yeah, let's get our feet on the ground. Let's let this stuff start to manifest. There are lots of little ways for that to happen, and the thing that happens when we went through synthesis, I'm going to give you a brief overview because something exciting is happening and you're involved. Class 1, it's like, come with a project you'd like to manifest. And I go, well, I wonder what that would be. So I make up something. You just make up something. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is. Make up something. And we go through this class. And at the end of it, you go, well, I don't know, but I think it's happening. It could happen. Class 2 comes along. There's a whole new broadening of things that are well known to you, but you didn't know that you knew them.
Yes.
And at the end of that class, you're still on that same project, or not. Maybe everything manifested in class 1 and you're just moving on. Class 3, more stuff comes in. And same thing, but class 4 is where I am now. This is the first class of class 4 people. I don't know if he's making it up as he goes, but it seems very well organized. And something miraculous has happened, and it's this, that 18 or 20 of us who are in class 4 are coming here this coming weekend from all over the place. We can't wait to get together because something mystical, something magical is about to happen.
Yes.
And you're going to be part of it.
Yes.
Come next Sunday. It's going to be amazing. And the energy in this room, you'll feel the difference. Now, what I want to talk about is that during that, all of that stuff is in addition to the stuff I want to tell you about now, which is We're trying to change the world. Are you with us? Yeah. We're trying to change the earth using this earth-based theme that we've been doing all year long, and we are trying to change the world that lives on the earth. Because the world that lives on the earth at the moment does not work for everyone. But we would like it to. So I'm reading to catch up with him. I do want to say this. I started off being his mentor. It gets really irritating when your mentee becomes your mentor. It's true, you know what I know what Aristotle and Plato, I know that thing. Just to take a whole lot of credit for nothing. But the thing that we can do is, I'm trying to catch up with him. So I'm reading a book called The Quest of Rose by a woman named Smithman, thank you, and Jean Houston. You raise your hand if you've heard of Jean Houston. Jean Houston is an amazing psychologist, wizard. She's a wizard. Can girls be wizards? Okay then. She's a wizard. This book is a novel. And the ideas are pretty simple. This young woman catches COVID, so it's quite modern, and ends up in the hospital near death, a near-death experience. When she comes back out of it, she understands that there are ways and things in the world that are beyond our human comprehension from this place where we're thinking and acting in our everyday way. And her grandmother is giving her grandmother wisdom on how to utilize those parts of ourselves that are mystics, that already know what we need to know to do these changes, but we don't know how to utilize the magic that's within us, the mystery that's within us. And you all know what I'm talking about. We have this opportunity to be the magi that change the world. So in order to do that, what has to happen, here's the hard part, everyone. You got to go into the cocoon. Because all those realms are imaginal. It's the term comes from botany, from biology actually. When a caterpillar is walking along on a nice leafy branch and starts to get this little idea that I think I should go in a cocoon, and it goes, well, who would want to do that? I'm fat and happy eating leaves. I'm just fine. But these cells start to proliferate in the caterpillar's body. They're called imaginal cells. And when they start to proliferate, the caterpillar's body goes, hey, there's a stranger in here, and it starts killing off the cells. But they proliferate faster and faster and faster than the caterpillar can kill them off. Until it gets to the point where the caterpillar goes, you know what? I think I'm going to build a cocoon. Goes into the cocoon, and the messy part starts. You got to liquefy to the point of death, yeah? They don't look like caterpillars when they come out of that cocoon. If you're going to make that big a metamorphosis, you cannot take your old self with you. So those imaginal cells, I'm now going to start training myself to say imaginal, because we're going into the imaginal realm. Imaginal does not mean fantasy. It means to create in our minds the thing we want to see, the thing we want to have happen in our lifetimes. And we want to do it in a way we can't do it as individuals. We're doing it as a united mind. This congregation and all of you in TV land, we are of a united mind. We are doing something with not just feeling small, but actually remembering that we are that small, dedicated group of people who has changed the world. Indeed, we are the only ones who ever have. Are we not? Yes, Margaret Mead told us that, and I believed her. So in order for us to do that, we're doing it on a worldwide scale. And when I look out at the world, it looks like we're turning to goo. Don't you think?
Yes, yeah.
If we aren't, there are places that ought to be. Listen, you guys need to goo up here really soon. Because we can't go forward with this body, with this mind that has created the problem. Right. We must become more of who we are meant to be, which is in the imaginal realms. Who are you? Who are you really? Really, deep down in your soul, what's calling you? And I'm not looking at you to give me answers like, I want to cure whatever the hell the big thing is, and it needs to be cured right away. COVID would do. But I want to know who you are. The you that is important in this process is made in the image and likeness of a great creator. That's the infinite one. And you are that. Thou art that. Tat tapamasi. Thou art that. And in this process of changing minds, you are an important imaginal cell, making the butterfly that we are sowing the seeds to reap on the other side of this. We can't do it alone. And so I'm over at Elijah's house the other day, and we're having dinner. And I've been in the middle of watching the news. You shouldn't do that. It's so hard on us. And I said to him, what's the most disturbing thing to you? And we talk about that for a while. And he said, I asked him about how he feels about all of it, and this is what he told me. I'm an apocalyptimist. I'm an apocalyptimist. It's an apocalypse. Everything is turning to goo. Yeah. But I am optimistic it's all going to be okay. Yeah? Yeah? Are you apocalyptimists? I think that's the only way that we can get through the gooey part, is to be an apocalyptimist and get to the part where you go, wait a minute. I want out of this. I want out of this. And I keep thinking that COVID's about to be over. It's about 20 more minutes and I'm done. And I don't think we're good yet. So, but the minute that we're ready to break out of that cocoon, you get out and you have to stand really still. As a butterfly, you can't move for a while. You have to stand still while all the fluids that you do have left in your little body go out into your wings. Oh, my darlings, have you seen the wings here? Yes. Where are your wings, wonderful one? Thank you. Remind me your first name, please. Look.
I'm Miss Butterfly.
Yes, you are. We did not discuss this.
The monarchs are coming back.
Yahoo. And they do a lot of work to get here.
Yes, they do.
Over generations. Whoa, that's significant. So this part that we're going through is necessary and urgent, yes. And it requires company. It requires a collection of minds that are moving in the same direction, general direction. Let's move together. So I encourage you take classes. Take the classes that are being offered in Science of Mind. It's the basis of what we do. And thank you, everyone. Thank you. And take Synthesis Class 1 if you've not been in class before, and continue on with us if you're already in classes. They go together beautifully. It is my opinion, and you're entitled to it, that this is next thought science of mind. And I'm available to speak to any of you who are afraid that if we do something new, oh my God, who knows what would happen? I'm in the who knows what would happen part. Something good. Something good will happen. I guarantee it. If something bad happens, it's only temporary. Something good will happen. That's only temporary too. This place is temporal. Yes. So as we move through these imaginal ideas, I want to tell you that this concept has been chasing me for a long time. I'm studying Jean and her interpretation on this, and I've also been studying Cynthia Bourgeot. Anybody ever heard of Cynthia Bourgeot? Love you all. And she has a book that I am currently reading, and it's also about the imaginal cells and how we get out of the hard copy that we think is real and into that realm that is beyond the physical plane, in the absolute, in the realm of the absolute, so that we can bring that down to earth. We're the ones we've been waiting for. It's time to do it. Now, and when I was talking about you being made in the image and likeness of a great creator, it means to me that what's being asked of us is to do something we love and be well supported in that. What do you love to do? Art, singing, writing, creativity is part of the imaginal realm, and we bring something from nothing to manifestation. And in the process of doing that, we turn our lives away from looking at the death and destruction that seem to be going on everywhere and into the places of creativity that draw us to each other. How many of you do creative things that people can purchase? Get together, everybody. Let's talk about that sort of stuff. If you don't do it yet, what do you want to do? See a practitioner, because now is the time to sow what you want to reap. Not just look backwards and go, man, that was a weed. You want to have the thing that you want to see in your life show up. You got to plant the seed now. What is it? You want to finish that book? You want to finish that musical? You want to finish that painting? I have not had a canvas, 2.5 years of nothing to do, and I have not had a paintbrush in my hand at all. That is pitiful. Well, I did paint the rose room. There are people who go, oh, that's a color. If you haven't been in the rose room, you should go. So I think I'm finished telling you about that part. All I want you to know is that you are already generating imaginal cells. Let's put them into the imagination and bring them back to earth. It's time to plant what you want to reap. Let's do it in that right order. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.